Yow! Yow! What's up, TPL fans? It's your boy Dashing here to bring you the highlights for Week 5. Without further ado, let's check out what we got. So for MVP of the week is gonna go to Haseen's performance. So let's check out the game, see how that went. So they lead Lele and Coco. Now, Lele's terrain activated first, revealing it is Scarfed, unless this is like a minus speed, Iron Ball Coco, which is unlikely. It's probably just Scarf. Interestingly enough, it switches out, and Coco actually switches out. So I think the better play to do there was just to go for like a raw vault switch. None of the mons really want to take a vault switch. Maybe Stuart was confused that the Thundi was a Therian, that it would absorb it. So this could have taken a pretty decent chunk, maybe like, I don't know, 20% from the vault switch. Or maybe he didn't just have a vault switch in that case. Goes for a smash on the what do you call this? On the scissor. A scissor goes for knockoff. I think the better play here would just have gone for the, what do you call that move? U-turn to pivot out to like a better mon to take this on. But you don't really seem to have better options, unless you have like an AV Rhyperior there at the back. Goes for a knockoff. It doesn't really do much because you are going to be absorbing the white herb. It goes for a smash again, and it doesn't really look good for Stuart here. This is exactly the same thing Haseen did last week. He went smash twice on Turtonator, and he just played it perfectly. Just go for attacks, max when you think the attack won't do enough, and just sweep, right? Yeah, I thought maybe the Coco was I kind of thought it was Scarf, but no. Lele was already revealed to be faster. Maybe it was Sash. Maybe he wanted to preserve the Sash there. But yeah, a very easy win for Haseen there. Only 9 turns. One of the fastest games we've had in TPL history. Very surprising. Stuart is one of the better players in the league. I would say maybe top 10. Like top 10 like in general. And you don't really see Stuart get 6-0. Normally, when he would lose, he would just lose like 3-0 or less. Even getting 4-0 over Stuart is, pretty uncommon. But yeah, Haseen just destroys him in 9 turns. Very surprising. So yeah, easily MVP. Congrats to Haseen for that. 6 kills for Turtonator, 2 weeks in a row. Man, have we been like sleeping on this mon? Is it really that good, or are players just not prepping for it? Like, yeah, it did seem like Stuart was very underprepared for this one, considering he just used the same strat as last week. So yeah, for tech of the week, we got Koriki Riki. Alright, Koriki Riki versus who's this? Austin. Milotic with the Venusaur. That has to be Austin. Alright, let's check out the game, see how that went. Leads Lando on Adino, goes for U-turn, gets a crit, which still does nothing. Ice Beam on the Venusaur. Alright, so it's revealed already Ice Beam. Interesting set with the Future Sight. I guess that's one way of dishing out good damage. Just go for Future Sights. And I kind of see what he was trying to do there. He was trying to like go for Future Sight, bring out the Audino, just in case he would, possibly switch into the Sableye, so that, if Sableye tries to block the Future Sight, it could take like a Dazzling Gleam to the face. But yeah, it brings out Milotic here on the Wish. Wishes passes it to Sol Galeo. Switches back to Rotom Heat, goes for teleport. So I think an interesting way of how Ricky has been playing this season is he has been using his Uber as mostly a defensive mon, right? I think a lot of players look at their Uber mons as their main win condition, and he has been using it very defensively. Like, he had a week where he was using like Toxic Stall, and that's kind of similar to what's happening here. He has like a teleport future sight variant, and then he has this sub iron defense combo. Brings out Melodic, goes for body press. Okay, I was kind of thinking, I guess when you think about iron defense, the first thing that comes to your mind is like body press, right? Especially from Como, it's probably the strongest body press in the game, right? Just because of the stab function. And yeah, Metagross isn't really gonna take that. Knowing Austin, he doesn't really prep for stuff like this. So you kind of want to have like a psychic move, like a special on the special side, just in case of these types of scenarios. Because Metagross is strong enough to run like a mix set, but I think a lot of the Robin Hood players just slap on a weakness policy and, you know, hope things work out in that sense. Sableye comes in hoping to like check it, but it reveals like the last move to be Toxic. A very well prepped set. It definitely beats. Actually, yeah, this set kind of beats all of his mons. I don't know if, you know, unless he had like the special Metagross. The special Metagross could have beaten this set, but yeah. You don't really expect that from the typical player. So yeah, you're gonna fall to Toxic here. They kind of just go back and forth for a while, waiting it to chip down to Toxic. And then at +4, even if it's a resisted hit, it's still gonna do a shit ton to Mega Venusaur. Wow, 66. Holy shit. And that's a defensive Venusaur too. So yeah, solid 6-0 for Ricky. Very well prepped. Yeah, I haven't seen Ricky prep this well in a while. He normally has good prep, but this was really, you know, I mean, it's Austin, right? We're kind of seeing the same things, but this was still very well prepped, very impressive. And yeah, this actually could have also, I also considered this to be MVP, but you know, if you compare like beating Austin versus Stewart, like those are two different leagues, right? And not to mention, Hassan just brought like a duplicate set of last week, so you know, it's even more impressive that way. Oh yeah, I'll also prefix this, or should have prefixed it, that some of the games I wasn't able to check out just because some of them weren't played during the time of the recording, which meant that they were being played late, so like 2 weeks late, I guess, or you know, after the 2-week period. As well as some of them were played, but the replay wasn't on the post. So you guys kind of miss out on getting featured that way. So try to remember, put the replays on the post. And for our, what you call this, Game of the Week. Game of the Week is gonna go to Sammy Boy versus Luke. Let's check out the game, see how that went. Alright, so they lead Arceus and Deoxys attack. Goes for a Psycho Boost, does a shit ton of damage. I have no idea if that is specs. Is that specs? I didn't bother calculating it because, you know, I'm too busy with work and other stuff. That could have been specs, honestly. But yeah, Zygarde comes in, goes for a DD, as Arceus goes for an Ice Beam. Very interesting there. I think the interesting part there is, you know, he could have recovered, I guess, and then went Ice Beam the next turn. And he could have been in a similar situation. But if he had, like, extreme speed, he could have just KO'd the Zygarde there. So I think that's very interesting that some of these players that run Arceus as their shared pick are not really bringing extreme speed as often as they should. So, you know, last season we had like Arceus as a shared mon as well, and every week they all brought extreme speed. So I think that's just worth noting. He goes for a switch. I think maybe you could have pursued Trap that Zygarde in that case, but no worries. He goes for a sub on the Rotom. Volt Switch does not break the sub. Okay, very Speed F Zapdos. Or maybe it's just an uninvested Rotom. He goes for Meteor Beam. I wonder if he had like an attack that could just break the sub and then just use Meteor Beam the next turn. So, you know, you could catch like a switch harder. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if the Komala is gonna get 2-hit KO'd anyway. Or is it? No, it doesn't. So yeah, you kind of get extra chip, but I guess it's negligible at this point. Goes for a T-Bolt, does a shit ton to Blastoise, gets a Smash Off. This is actually very threatening at this point. Very threatening. Because Blastoise is in Torrent range. So that's basically a +2. That's basically a +4, right? Yeah, +4 Blastoise Hydro. That's gonna kill everything. I think the noteworthy part there, people were talking about the crit on Escavalier. If this Escavalier was AV, it mattered. If it wasn't, it didn't matter. That's all I'm gonna say. I didn't get to ask Sammy Boy if it was, but it is what it is. Hydro misses as it goes for dual wing beat. I think that was a huge misplay. You had to have other moves rather than Hydro. But it is what it is. He goes for a Hone Claws on the Zapdos, goes for a Discharge, does not get the Paralysis. Goes for an Ice Fang, Okos. Goes for a Dual Wing Beat. Sludge Wave, doesn't KO as well. Switches to Komala, Dual Wing Beat, gets the KO. Weezing comes in, falls to the Dual Wing Beat. And then does he have E-Speed? Probably not, because he would have used it earlier. And that's gonna be GG, it's Sammy. Oh my god, what a game. That was easily the greatest choke in TPL history. If there was ever a dashing a fool, this guy is the fool, right? You could have clicked any move on Blastoise. Like, I don't think you would have two other moves that are less accurate than Hydro Pump, but he wanted to be, you know, flashy about it and risk the miss. And it kind of cost you, also considering the Weezing didn't have another move to hit Aerodactyl, so I guess it was just mono Sludge Bomb, right? And yeah, no E-Speed on the what do you call this? The Zygarde as well. I think E-Speed Zygarde KOs Aerodactyl from 12% for sure. So yeah, a very huge choke. Could have won that, I believe. What was that? Was that? Yeah, he could have won 5-0'd, but he got 1-0'd. So yeah, huge throw. But yeah, that's gonna be game of the week. Congrats to everyone who got mentioned and featured in the video. Stay tuned for the next video next week, and I'll see you guys till then. Cheers.